Hey guys, it's Alyssa, and today I'm going to be showing you how I edit my film photos in Photoshop. So all of these photos are actually from Colorado. I shot them a few weeks ago, and yeah, I've just been going through and editing them, and I thought I would sort of share how I edit them. My approach to editing, especially with film, is more to just enhance what's already there, rather than to like, I guess manipulate it or change it that much. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get started. So I have 4 photos I'm going to be working with today, and let me get the screen recording going. So yeah, I brought 4 photos into Photoshop here, and I have already edited them, but I'm gonna like re-edit them with y'all. But yeah, so this first one is definitely the most simple edits. This is how it looks edited. If we turn these off, this is how the scan came back. Shout out to Fort Worth Photo Lab. But yeah, so I'm going to show you how I got it to look like this. So the first thing, let me just go ahead and delete these. So first thing, you want to make sure your adjustments panel is right here. I'm gonna basically approach this the way I guess talk through this. For somebody who hasn't really used much of Photoshop, hopefully, I want this to be understandable. So anyway, yeah, right here we have the adjustments tab, and then if it's not there, you can go up to window, which I realize is out of the screen recording, but it's like right here. And then you can bring it right there. You just click on it, but since I already have it, I'm not gonna re-click on it. Anyway, so first thing we're going to start with is levels. I always start here, and basically you want to bring these endpoints where the curve starts, like this. And this is basically just setting your highlights and shadows. And I might bring this one in slightly. So once we've done that, then I'm going to click on the adjustments again, and we're going to go into curves. And this is more for setting like your midtones, quarter tones, and 3/4 tones. Also kind of controls contrast, but I'm going to put 2 points at the quarter and 3/4 tone spot. To get more of a contrast, we're gonna make it like an S curve. So I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, bring this up a little bit, and you don't have to like, it's not gonna be like a huge S curve, but as you can see, it kind of S's there. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose detail in the snow. Yeah, as you can see, like over here there's still a little bit of detail in there, and like over here you can still see detail, so I was trying to retain that. Anyway, so now I'm gonna go ahead, you can either do like right click and then edit adjustment. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new one for this next part because I just want to. So now we're gonna be working with white balance, and this is basically going into your red, green, and blue channels, and this image really doesn't have much of a color cast, honestly. There's a little bit of green though in the road that I think I want to get rid of, so we're gonna go in here, and so if I pull it down, it's gonna add a little bit more of a magenta to it. As you can see, it's taking out that green that was in the road. But I do think in general I like my film to have a bit of a pink tone. That's probably because I normally shoot portrait, and I feel like it naturally has that. But yeah, I'm just trying to make it look as natural as possible. Yeah, beyond that, I don't really feel like this needs a whole lot more work. I think it's pretty good. So again, just to, because it doesn't look like I've done a whole lot, but when you bring this down, you can definitely see that it's way better looking. Now I'm going to move on to this one, and this is what we started with, and this is what I ended up with. I actually might try and decrease some of the contrast in here. It got a little too contrasty for my taste, but, and again, I'm going to start with those same 2 steps, fixing the levels first, and then we're going back to adjustments, curves, and okay, I feel pretty good with that. We're going to do another curves, and also you can like double click and label, like I'll label this white balance, and we'll call this one, oops, contrast. just to make that a little more clear. And basically, the way you know like what you're adding in and taking out, if you think of like RGB is the color pathway or whatever that the images are captured in, and then CMYK is how they're gonna print. But if you think of it like, so it's RGB and then CMYK, K is black, so you can kind of just forget about that. But like the opposite of red is cyan, the opposite of green is magenta, and the opposite of blue is yellow. Hopefully that made sense. But yeah, so that's why I'm going to my blue channel to add in a little bit of yellow. Again, this may not even be necessary, but I feel like it could be warmed up a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. I do think I'm gonna actually add in a little bit of magenta. So I went into my green channel and I'm pulling this down a little bit, and as you can see, like if I were to go up, it goes green. And if I pull down, it goes a little bit pinker. Yeah, I feel like that looks better. So I'm going to copy this layer. Basically, I'm going to do a little bit of dodging and burning, which is like darkroom 101, I guess. But yeah, so basically it's just going to either darken my shadows or lighten the shadows, or brighten or darken highlights. But I feel like I could bring back a little bit of detail in this van right here, and I might lighten up the sign. I think that's what I did before. I wasn't in love with that edit. I felt like I said, it was a little too contrasty, so I'm gonna not go quite as crazy. I also originally edited this on my laptop, and now I'm using a larger screen and I can see way better. Anyway, so we're going to right click on the background and then click duplicate layer. And I'm going to just call this edit. Basically the reason we want to do this is in case I decide I don't like what I did, all I have to do is delete this rather than deleting the whole image and then having to redo all this. So definitely do that. And then I'm going to go over here, and basically if you right click on it, there's dodge and burn. I don't ever use this, but we're going to start by dodging. And then up here, you can choose which one you're gonna dodge. I'm gonna start with midtones. And I'm just going to light, oops, that is too much. Okay. And then appears the exposure, so you don't want to do it at 50%, that's pretty drastic. I'm going to honestly start with like 10. And then you can either click here to adjust the size, or with your keyboard, you would do the little bracket that's like on the right side to make this bigger or smaller. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger because I don't want it to be, but yeah, see, I'm just lightly bringing this up. I'm gonna do the same to this white here. And that's honestly probably it, because it's starting to, luckily this is like a sort of faded stripe anyway, but I don't want to like lose detail or blow it out. Yeah, so we're gonna do the same thing with this liquor sign. Just a couple passes. I don't want to overdo it, but I do kind of want to bring it out. And I think I might re-burn in the for sale sign because I like the pink. So I'm going to go back over here, right click, burn tool this time. And yeah, I'm going to burn in the midtones, but not at 50%. I'll go to 15 again. And I'm just bringing this back in. I think I might also try and lighten up this tree here, and then a little bit of this over here. Yeah, so I think that's probably what I'm going to do for this image. Again, it doesn't look like I did a whole lot, but when you do this, definitely looks better. We're going to do this one next because I feel like the changes were pretty similar, so I'm going to try and go through this one a little bit faster, but yeah. So again, this is what it looked like prior to editing, and this is it now. Levels, and bring the shadows in. Again, some of this is definitely correcting exposure issues from when I shot the film, not anything to do with the scans, but since film is kind of expensive, I do like to go and try and fix as many shots as I can, because again, we spent a lot of money on this film, so want to get our money's worth. And I feel like, I know some people are kind of like against editing film a little bit, which I can understand, but Also, you know, it's 2021 and we have all these tools for editing, so like why not use them? So basically, as I'm editing this one, I'm kind of ignoring all this road that's blown out because we're gonna fix that. I'm mostly thinking about this and the cabin, and bringing back some contrast in there. And I don't want to like lose this like really beautiful light up here in the trees, but I am bringing this down because I don't want it to be too contrasty. Again, I'm really not saying much color cast in this, so I'm going to go ahead and wait on that until I've edited the rest of this. So I'm going to click on the background layer again, right click, duplicate layer, we're going to call this edit. So to do that, we're going to click on this quick selection tool, and we want this first one to start out. And I'm going to make this larger, and I'm basically going to just be masking out the road because I feel like everything else exposure-wise looks good. And then I don't really want these rocks up here to be selected, so I'm going to now click this, the one with the little minus sign, go in here and just undo this part. It is a little bit harder, I think, to mask things in film just because of the number of pixels, I guess. But, you know, this is good enough, I think. So I'm just going to finish fixing this part. So now we're going to click this little, well, what's this called? I don't know, but I clicked it, okay. And then now whenever I go into, oh, also, I do want to feather this slightly because I don't want to have a harsh edge. Click adjustments, and now we're going to, I think we're going to start with curves. And before I edit anything here, you want to click the option button on your keyboard while you're toggling over this line right here, and this should come up and you're going to click. And now anything I edit is only going to edit this little layer instead of like this background one. Yeah. Bring down this highlight. Okay, so now you can see that this has been brought back in. That looks way better. You can see detail in here. Now I think I'm going to do a little bit of burning still, just in this general area to bring back these shadows even more. So I'm going to once again duplicate this layer, and this is going to be burn. We'll say that. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. Well, no, I'll leave it here. Okay. So I'm going to burn this part in on this layer, but the road, I'm gonna click on this edit layer because if I try to like do anything on here, it's not really gonna show up because it's below this layer. And I still feel like my highlights could go down over here. Oh, not that much though. Going down, let's do like 5, just a hair darker, yeah. Okay, I think that's probably good. But now going through all of this, if I take these down, this is what we started with, and this is where we at, so I think it looks better. So now, this is the final image I'm going to edit today with y'all. So if I take this down, this is what we started with, and this is how I edited it. So, and I think I might want to change a couple of things here too. So, first off though, the big issue with this one is the tilt or whatever going on. So, you can see it's like tilting down. So I'm going to be tilting it up plus bringing this side forward slightly. So to do that, we're going to again duplicate this layer, edit. So I'm going to go to edit, perspective warp, and pull this out. And then you click enter, and now we can move these points around. So I'm going to start by pulling this up some. Pull this back a second. That's back down. Okay, now I'm going to recrop this. Just so I can see, I'm going to turn the background layer off. I'm just using the arrow keys now to move this. So I think that looks way better. As far as getting more of like a deadpan look. We can turn this back on, I guess it doesn't really matter, but anyway. Now it's pretty much just same sort of edits we've been doing. Start with levels, and then adjustments, curves. Yeah, now I'm playing around with how much contrast. Yeah, I don't really know that it needed that much white balance adjustment. I don't like the shade of yellow that's going on here. So we can go back to adjustments, and then hue and saturation. You can kind of play around with this a little bit. Make it more or less warm. So that is one way you can do it, or I'm gonna turn that off for a second. Go back to adjustments. There's this photo filter, which I'm sometimes hesitant to use this, but I think it can be good. And you can obviously affect how much of it you want. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do for that one. So if we want to see our progress, oh, let me delete this layer. So now, if I undo this, that's what we started with. This is where we're at, so it looks way better. Fast, I wanted to pop in at the end of this video to explain. So I have a link tree set up in my description, which basically has a few different things. First thing being a link for commissioning me, so that's exciting. Basically I can edit photos, I can do a whole bunch of different stuff. It's all like listed in there. So but yeah, definitely check that out. Also, my Etsy and my Depop are listed. On my Etsy I'm selling jewelry and probably some artwork soon. And then my Depop is mostly just clothes as well as the same jewelry. And beyond that, there's a few other links you can check out. My Instagram is also in the description, but yeah, I just wanted to explain that since that is kind of a new addition to my description box. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's any other photo related videos you'd be interested in seeing, I also thought about doing a video about my BFA show, so I'll probably end up doing that at some point. But yeah, if you have any suggestions or requests, feel free to let me know in the comments. But otherwise, stay tuned for more videos. Bye!